Have you ever stopped to consider whether your cat actually knows how to say sorry after doing something wrong? Most people assume cats don't apologize at all. But the reality is far more nuanced. They absolutely do. The challenge is that their version of an apology looks nothing like ours. And that disconnect is where so many owners get it wrong. Because if you overlook these signals, or worse, react with frustration, you might be unknowingly rejecting the only way your feline companion knows how to make amends. Let's begin with the signal that's been right in front of you all along. First, they hold your gaze and slowly close their eyes. Have you ever caught your cat staring at you after knocking something over, then deliberately letting their eyelids droop? We often hear that slow blinking means contentment, but what rarely gets discussed is the internal shift happening just before that moment. When your cat senses tension, maybe your voice rose, maybe your posture stiffened, their brain registers stress. Instinct screams retreat or freeze. Yet instead of fleeing, they choose to remain, lock eyes with you, and voluntarily close their vision. Consider what that truly means. A creature that's hardwired to protect itself is willingly blinding itself in front of a potential source of conflict. That's not casual. That's a deliberate, vulnerable gesture. A 2020 study from the University of Sussex confirmed that cats intentionally slow blink as a form of communication. But the deeper finding? Cats who received slow blinks back showed significantly lower cortisol levels. Your response literally alters their stress chemistry. Blink back, and their tension dissolves. Ignore them, and their brain registers a failed attempt to reconnect. And here's what stings. If your cat repeatedly offers this signal after conflict and receives nothing in return, they eventually stop trying. They don't act out. They simply go silent. And that quiet isn't peace. It's a cat who gave up on apologizing to you. Later in this video, we'll explore an apology signal that feels eerily human, and it's the one most owners accidentally punish. Stay with me. Second, they press their forehead into you unexpectedly. Have you ever been sitting on the couch, still simmering after a mishap, and suddenly your cat walks up and drives their head into your face or palm? Most people laugh it off or assume they just want attention. But what if that headbutt is your cat's way of repairing what just fractured between you? Cats have concentrated scent glands on their forehead, cheeks, and chin. When they press against you, they're depositing pheromones onto your skin. This is called bunting. In peaceful moments, yes, it's affection, but when it occurs right after conflict, its meaning shifts entirely. When tension fills a room, your cat can literally smell the change. Stress hormones alter your natural scent, and to an animal who relies on smell the way we rely on facial expressions, that shift feels like the bond is cracking. So what do? They walk up and rescent you. They're not just being sweet. They're overriding the tension with their own chemical signature, restoring the sensory marker that tells their brain, this human is still mine, and I am still theirs. What makes this even more meaningful is that while cats may bunt casually with almost anyone, the timing is everything. When your cat headbutts you specifically after tension, after you've scolded them or raised your voice, that's not random affection. That's intentional. They're telling you, in the most primal way they know, that they refuse to let the connection break. When they headbutt you after conflict, they're repairing the bond. Third, they bring you their most prized possession. Have you ever been frustrated with your cat and then discovered a toy sitting beside you? Maybe on the couch, maybe at your feet, maybe dropped directly onto your lap. Most owners brush it aside or think their cat wants to play. But what if your cat just handed you the most valuable thing they own, and you dismissed it? Cats aren't dogs. They don't fetch to please you. When a cat brings you something, there's always intention behind it. And while hunting instinct plays a role, behaviorists have observed something striking. When a cat drops an object near their owner after a period of tension, it mirrors what's called a reconciliation offering in animal social dynamics. They're not asking you to play. They're offering something of value to restore the relationship. Think about it from their perspective. Your cat has a favorite toy, the one they carry around, the one they guard, the one they sleep with. And in the middle of an emotional rift between you, They pick it up, walk over, and place it at your feet. That's not random. That's a sacrifice. They're giving you the thing that brings them comfort, hoping it might bring you comfort too. So next time you find a random toy beside you after a rough moment, don't ignore it. Pick it up. Acknowledge them. That little gesture might be the bravest apology they've ever made. Fourth, they start grooming your hands or face. Have you ever noticed your cat suddenly licking you right after a tense moment? Maybe they hop onto your lap and start working on your fingers, your chin, even your nose. Most people dismiss it as a quirky habit, but there's a reason this behavior surfaces specifically after conflict, and it runs deeper than you might think. In cat colonies, mutual grooming, called allo-grooming, is one of the most important social behaviors. But here's what many don't realize. Cats don't groom every cat in the group. Studies on feral colonies show that grooming is highly selective. Cats only engage in it with individuals they share a strong bond with. It's not about hygiene. It's a tool for maintaining relationships and reducing tension within the group. And here's a detail that makes it even more profound. When cats groom each other to resolve tension, researchers have observed that it actually lowers heart rate in both cats involved, which means when your cat licks your hand after conflict, their own body is calming down through the act of repairing the bond with you. It's not just emotional, it's physiological. Apologizing to you is literally how they self-regulate. Apologizing is how your cat calms their own heart. Fifth, they flop over and show you their stomach. Have you ever scolded your cat and watched them immediately roll onto their back, belly exposed? Most owners think they're being playful, or worse, that they don't care about what just happened. But that exposed belly might be the most misunderstood apology in the entire feline world. A cat's belly houses their most vital organs. In the wild, no cat would ever willingly expose that area unless they felt completely safe, or unless they were deliberately making themselves vulnerable to de-escalate a threat. And when your cat rolls over right after tension, that's exactly what they're doing. They're not playing. They're surrendering. It's the feline equivalent of putting both hands up and saying, "I'm not a threat. Please don't be upset with me." This is where it gets critical. Most owners see the belly and instinctively reach down to rub it. And what happens? The cat swipes, scratches, or bites. Now the owner thinks the cat was being manipulative or aggressive. But the truth is, the cat was never asking to be touched. They were asking to be forgiven. Rubbing the belly in that moment violates the very vulnerability they just offered you. And to the cat, it feels like a betrayal of the trust they were trying to rebuild. So what should you do instead? Simply stay calm, lower your voice, maybe offer a slow blink back. Let your cat know you received the message without turning their apology into a reason to grab at their most protected area. That small shift in how you respond can completely change how safe your cat feels repairing things with you. Sixth, they follow you quietly, without making a sound. Have you ever noticed that after something tense happens, your cat just starts appearing wherever you go? Not meowing, not rubbing against you, not asking for food. Just quietly sitting in the same room as you, watching from a distance. Most people don't even register it. But this is the apology signal I mentioned earlier, the one that looks almost human, and the one most owners completely miss. Cats are solitary by nature. When they want space, they vanish. They have no problem walking away from any situation, any person, any room. So when a cat chooses to do the opposite, when they follow you from the kitchen to the bedroom to the bathroom without making a single sound, that is not clingy behavior. That is a deliberate decision to stay close to you during emotional discomfort. Behavioral researchers describe this as proximity maintenance. It's a strategy also seen in bonded primates after conflict. Instead of vocalizing or making physical contact, the individual simply reduces distance and waits. They're saying, "I'm not going to force this, but I'm not leaving either. I'll be here until things feel right again." And if you really think about it, we do the same thing after a fight with someone we love. Sometimes we don't say anything. We just sit in the same room. We make coffee. We exist nearby. No words, no grand gesture, just presence. Your cat is doing the exact same thing. And the fact that an animal who could easily walk away and be perfectly fine alone is choosing to stay near you in silence should tell you everything about what you mean to them. If this gave you a new perspective on your cat, tap like and subscribe to this channel for more stories that deepen your connection with the animals in your life.